there. Let's get into our last match of the night. Judgment Day taking the L against Cody's Heroes.
The
Revengers.
The Revengers. But I just feel like this was something. I'll start this one off. Obviously the storytelling of Randy, will he, won't he, come out. I just thought it was odd to have two heel factions lose at War Games. I thought that was the thing that gets like, I believe did both of them, who had the advantage? I can't remember who had the
Judgment Day did have the advantage.
And Damage Control didn't,
I think.
It's War Games. Stop having the heels have the disadvantage in any War Games match going forward. The heels should always have the advantage going into War Games. Period. Period. That's the first thing. I just want to get that out the way. But this was a highly competitive match. I thought it was pretty good from start to finish. The illusion of Randy, and this is the one thing I want to talk about in this match more than anything else. It could have just been Randy Orton coming out, and that would have just been like, oh, okay, because everybody was expecting CM Punk with the story that they were telling and all that. But what saved it was Rhea Ripley coming out first, trying to cash in. I felt like that was perfectly done, and giving Randy his proper reaction coming out
because it made perfect fucking sense for any. That was like so smart. It's just like, oh, it's a War Games match. It's a War Games match. Why would you not cash in right now while he's down and you're helping the ring with you? So that was brilliant. I actually like that.
So to get it from that standpoint and try to do that, I thought that gave Randy his perfect reaction coming out. They did that very well, beating down the baby faces. But yeah, I just got to talk about Randy Orton's return. He looks jacked. That's the most jacked I've ever seen Randy Orton. I guess when you get older, you get more jacked. I thought he came out and did a pretty good job. He looked great. I'm just happy to see Randy Orton back. The RKO to JD McDonough from the top of the ring, from the top of the cage, epic. Randy Orton creating another moment. What do you guys think about this match overall, Randy's return, and everything that followed?
All right. So, in my humble opinion, and I do think this was the better War Games match of the night. And Daniel, I think we mentioned it in the chat as far as like, you know, when you talk about like these War Game matches in general. I think you had mentioned about how like they need to structure them better because sometimes it feels like there's so many like lulls in between the matches, in between guys coming into the ring. And everything that, you know, sometimes, you know, it'll take you out of the match almost. And but I honestly feel like the way the match is already, that's because that's the natural structure of the match. I honestly feel like it's hard to keep people interested while you're trying to get everybody into the ring. I mean, they tried every time. You know, people come out before they get into the cage. What do? They go into the ring and they grab a chair, they grab a table, and they grab something. But as you see over time with all these War Games matches, that's getting a little tired now. You know, because it's like, you know, you go into the ring,
grab a million chair spot. I hate that. Like it's not effective. Just bring in a chair. You don't need one or two. You don't need 15. Just bring in one or two.
No, everybody has to land on all the chairs.
But as soon as they told that story of Randy may or may not show up, I knew in my mind, okay, we're gonna get to a point in this match where Judgment Day is literally gonna beat the living crap out of all four of them, and all four of them are gonna be down. And then here comes Randy Orton to the rescue. But then, like Daniel said, they added a little wrinkle to it by having Rhea Ripley come out there and cash in the Money in the Bank, which was perfectly setting up for the return of Randy Orton. And then Randy Orton comes out. I mean, he like Daniel said, he looks jacked, put on a whole bunch of muscle. This is the best that he's looked in years. And then he got into the ring, and then we got your vintage Randy Orton, as Michael Cole likes to call it. I mean, he looked like he didn't miss a step. It was the same old. The only difference is he's bigger now. But the match itself, the whole structure and everything, you know, it still was a very, very entertaining match. Once everybody got into the ring. Once everybody gets into the ring and the match officially starts. Typically, that's when all the War Games matches have been at their best. You know, it's just getting there. Sometimes, you know, get frustrated. But other than that, it was a good match.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I don't like about the War Games match is just the build up to the 1, 2, 3, and like people just still. And it's not even that it's that long, but I think at some points it does feel long. And then when finally everybody's in, you're like, oh shit, now the match is actually started.
That's what it is, because it's like you're waiting for all this stuff to happen, and then you get that burst of energy from them. And then I think
because in the beginning, it's like once you get the 2-on-1, you're like, all right, just can keep beating the crap out of them, you know, and then you get the 3-on-2 or the 3-on-3. And then, so yeah, I think for me, sometimes with War Games matches, I'm like, all right, can we get? And I think only for this one, it was like when I was like, all right, the match started, and I feel like from that point to like the end wasn't a lot.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a lot. It was like, and that's why I feel like the build up just takes up majority of the match. So
yeah.
But
what they gotta do, they gotta change it up. They either gotta have teams, or because I think WCW did that one year. They had WCW versus NWO versus I think Wolfpack or something like that. And the winner, and this is what they got to do. They got to start adding stipulations to War Games. They got to figure out a way to get that so it's more impactful. That's my
stipulation.
So
you get number 30 in the Royal Rumble. You get a number 1 contender shot at Royal Rumble. They got to do something with it.
It's me. Like it means something. Like you get.
Yeah, they got to do something, because I think
that does make sense. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So in the first War Games match,
supremacy, right?
Yeah, like, fuck out of it. But anyway, in the first War Games match that they did in NXT, they had 3 teams. They had Undisputed Era versus Roderick Strong and the Authors of Pain. So and that was done perfectly. I think they had it set up so I think 3 people started, and then
that's how they got to do it.
And then they would have the rest of the guys come in, and then honestly, psychologically, that makes more sense, because then you got the 2 guys from the opposite teams that kind of have to like force to work together when the other guy's team comes out. So psychology wise, it makes sense. It keeps things interesting. When you go in one person every 2 or 3 minutes, you know, slows the match down. Or they need to just speed it up and just be like every
2 minutes,
2 minutes or 1 minute. Like that one year when they had the Royal Rumble, and I think it was 95, and they had people coming out in 1 minute intervals, and that shortened the shit out of the Rumble.
They didn't have enough guys.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But just in general, I think they need to spruce it up a little bit. It's not that War Games is bad, because it's just as we always say, organized chaos, right?
Yeah.
But they just need to spruce it up a little bit. Either have teams, have it as a tag team, do something with it. There's something more they can do with War Games.
Yeah, I feel like if the tag titles, but I guess it's also different because it's like you have 5 guys in there, so it's like who gets the titles? I don't know, whatever. But back to the actual match, like, and it's funny because when I saw them kind of setting Seth up, I was like, oh, could they cash in right now? And then you see Rhea come out, and I was like, I guess it's possible. I mean, we all knew it wasn't going to happen because who's waiting the Viper? And yeah, I was definitely excited to see Randy, which I knew he was going to be back, and I was like, just to see that his fucking perfect power slam again, the thing of beauty. I think he probably has the best power slam ever, and yeah, it was just great seeing Randy back. I think it's crazy to think that it's been 2 years since he's been here. I thought it was a year, and they were like, "No, it's been 2 years." I was like, "Jesus Christ, where the hell have I been?" I've been watching, but crazy. Time flies.
No, it's great to have him back, because it's like he definitely has a void there. It's like Randy does bring something to the table, regardless. Like, he's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer, 14-time champion. We've seen him many
title run. He needs another title run.
I don't know if he's going to get that title run. I think he's going to compete for a title.
I think he's going to compete for a title.
No, I think he'll get good. No, I think he'll get one. I think he'll get one more. Matter of fact, Daniel, you're right. He's not going to get another one, because if they give him one more, then he has to beat John Cena's record, because they're not just going to let him get to 15. He has to pass Flair, and then he has to pass Cena and get to 17. So I don't think they're gonna. I don't know.
I don't know if they have to do that, but because isn't Cena's at 16, right?
15, right?
No. he passed Ric Flair, so he's
no, he hasn't passed Ric Flair.
Yeah, no,
he's tied.
It's tied.
Is it tied?
I think he's tied.
I could have sworn he was one under.
Look, I thought Ric Flair is at 15, isn't he? 15.
No, he's at 16. He's 16-time world champion.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that when Cena won his last world title, the commentary was hyping it up as in like he just eclipsed sports entertainment's greatest mark.
John Cena's 16.
So it's 16 apiece. So
really?
16.
They can let Randy have.
All right, if that's the case, then Randy Orton's gonna get one more title run.
I just think from the standpoint of where other guys are in line, like Drew, like Cody, Jey Uso,
Drew's
you're trying to build other guys.
Soon.
Randy Orton's already a 14-time champion. I mean, he could have one run. I'm not against it, but he's up there. But like we've seen him be the legend killer, seen him be the young kid in Evolution. We've seen him be the Viper. All these variations. Legacy. When he was like, he looked like a damn snake with the bald head. So we've seen all these iterations of Randy Orton, and we're still saying he's able to do the same old stuff, and we still love it. So great to have Randy Orton back. I thought the War Games match was good, even though it had its lull periods. But overall, it's getting to that point, and now we're building up towards after what's next for the Judgment Day. And again, this is my thing about it, is just having these two factions, heel factions, lose. It's like there has to be either something has to change. Obviously, we saw on Raw, Drew McIntyre's not with the Judgment Day. He's like a renegade, which is what I wanted. I don't want him to join the Judgment Day and stuff like that. So
same.
And now he's going to be fighting Sami